Welcome back, everyone. It's part of our ongoing series to keep you informed about what we're doing in our community in light of the outbreak. Making a point to interview all of the key people in our region. And obviously at the top of the list would be Gina Mintzer, who is the executive director of the Lake George Chamber and CVB. And using our appropriate social distancing.
Yes.
Well, Gina, we know each other so well. It's going to be hard not to do with the usual kind of interview. Do you know what I mean? But we're facing something we've never faced before.
Ever.
Small business myself, and every morning I wake up now and just, we circle the wagons and just try to find out, what's going on in the community. And I'm sure many of you are feeling the same way. So let's start there. The Lake George Chamber and CVB made a couple of very, very important moves this year in terms of bolstering the CVB to make certain that we could attract more meetings and we could attract more weddings. That was a very interesting plan that seems to fold right into many of the things we're facing today. So let's back up a little bit. Talk to me about that plan.
So that plan was to grow, obviously, just the year-round destination and the desire to be here, and to promote that aspect of midweek meetings to host them here. And in that vein, we've started to staff up for that. In the meantime, all of this COVID outbreak has shown that that's going to be key even more so, because a lot of those meetings and events now have been canceled or postponed that were already taking place. So when we were back up and running, we're going to have that all-out blitz to make sure that Lake George is right up there along with other destinations around the state and the Northeast, where someone who will now host their meeting again will want to come here. So that's one piece of the initiatives that are on our plate from a CVB standpoint, from the Convention and Visitors Bureau standpoint. There was two other initiatives that we already began. So the train has already left the station, so to speak. The first one was a tourism awareness training program, which right now, people are, what do I do with my frontline staff? I don't know. Right now, I've laid off some frontline staff. So when we are ready to open and be open for business all across the board in our tourism industry, we will move forward with our tourism awareness training program. And that is a destination-wide program so that it will enhance your experience as a visitor. It will enhance your pride as a frontline staff person, as well as really understanding the value of our tourism economy, which right now everybody understands the value of our tourism economy, especially when there isn't one, right here and now. The third initiative was to work with all of those properties that are 50 rooms or less. That makes Lake George so special, is our smaller properties. There's nuances. The family that owns that. And a way to enhance that, so many of those owners have worked in their business and not on their business. So our initiative, which again, we've already begun, that train has left the station, so to speak, was to offer them marketing assistance one-on-one to promote their property the best that we could to customers and visitors who would want to buy that product. Because it's very different whether you're on the lake and what amenities and you're pet friendly and all of those things that make you special. We want to make sure that we can help them be special, viable, and booked.
Wow, it's just a terrific initiative, and we've known about it and we've worked together on some of it. In light of what's happened now, the phone's ringing, right?
Yes.
You're getting emails. The Chamber is so central to the well-being of business in any community. What kind of questions are people asking you when they call?
The very first question is, what's happening with Americade? And Americade is happening. Americade has always been the start of the summer season, so to speak. And when I say that, it's because it happens at the beginning of June. We know that Memorial Day kicks off all summer season anywhere in the world, quite honestly, where there's sun and fun and a 3-day weekend. But quite honestly, Americade kicks off the year for us, where you've got 3, 4, 5, 6 days of visitors coming, and it helps to make sure that everybody is staffed. That event, you say, I've got to be open and ready because I could be sold out.
That's right.
So Americade is very, very important to our destination, and it sets the tone for the rest of the summer season in terms of your own staffing and what you're ready, how you're ready to handle guests. So Americade is still on the books, and people are gearing up for that. the second number one call is, when should I open? So if you are a smaller business and it's you and 3 other associates, you might have not had those people on staff right now, or they might have been furloughed for this winter. But right now I typically was going to open on May 1st, but do I push that back to May 30th or to Memorial Weekend? We don't know. We don't know where this is going. And we're on it every day, just like you are, watching your email, watching the next governor decree. So that's where we're at today.
You know, it's important now. Americade this year is June 1st to 6th, I think, correct? And it launches the whole season. I imagine that some businesses are calling in wondering about the J1 students, the students that come in.
Yes.
Any information on that?
So we're watching the websites, and we have those links on our COVID page as InterExchange or GeoVisions or CIE. Those are companies that are the visa sponsors. Some of them we're in charge of countries that are banned. So let's say Russia or China or Italy. Others, their students their visas may not be available until mid-May. Some of them would have already had them for mid-April, might have come here. So each company works a little bit differently. So we're monitoring that in conjunction with our actual partners who work with those particular visa companies. Six Flags may work with one company, the Lake George RV Park may work with another, the Sagamore may work with a different one, the Fort William Henry may work with a different company. So all of them may have a little bit different spin based on the countries of where their exchange students come from. So it's all over the board because they're different. They're different countries, they're different. The students are calling who have been here before to say, will you have a job for me?
Yes.
Because we don't know when some of the current mandates to stay closed will free up. We don't know how this virus is going.
Sure, and you know, when you understand any time that this country's faced a crisis, you could really identify the beginning and what you might perceive to be the end point, if it's a financial crash, for instance. With this, it's so much more, you just don't know, because we don't know what turn virus is going to take and how we're going to cope with that. What I find very interesting, what you're saying, Gina, is that you have plans in place to help businesses. And those plans, we'll be ready to pull those triggers on those plans when we know when the students will be able to come in. You know, more advice on the small business owner on marketing support and help. You know, one of the campaigns that Gina and I are working on together is this keep our local economy strong. We live here, we work here, and we play here. You tend to think of tourism as the outside, right? But it affects all of us here too. Gina said something to me just before the interview. She said, you know, when this gate does open, everybody is going to be offering everything. Hershey, Pennsylvania, wherever it happens to be, that is so important that all of us understand that this is where we live, right?
Yes.
So
we want Albany to come here to play for a day trip, for whatever that is.
And that's going to be really important when the gate opens.
A visitor is as important as an overnight guest, a day tripper.
Yeah, absolutely. Any just last advice that you might give to a business owner? We're all nervous.
We're all here. We're in it together. Depending on what your needs are, we might be able to meet those needs in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
Call, email, make an appointment. Right now, we're keeping our social distance to make sure that we're serving you and ourselves and staying healthy and safe, and that we are here for our members, for our community at large, and we're here to collaborate with those and ready with our messaging for when we can blitz.
Gotcha. Elbow bump?
Yes.
You got it. Well, as you can probably tell, the Gina that we know is very proactive and just ready to help. So we'll get through this.
Yes.
Good. Thank you for allowing us to interview you. Really appreciate it. You're welcome. See this interview again. You can head to our website, looktvonline.com.